Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 463.
463.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We're going to talk about the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival this week, TRON. So there's a lot going on at Walt Disney World. And of course, we've got Magic Happens, which once the rain delays stop happening in California, we'll be back at Disneyland. And then Disneyland Paris is continuing the 30th anniversary. There's a lot going on. Check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Head to their site and get a no obligation quote.
So we're going to start off with TRON Lightcycle Run. We were actually able to ride already. Our good friend Curious Axel invited us for the cast member preview, and we had a great time. We were there very early, first thing in the morning. And one thing, a little tip, if you get there early and there isn't a big line for PhotoPass, I would do it right away to get these highly intelligent shots. Because
that was my thought.
That was your idea. Because PhotoPass, the line when we left was really, really long. So if there's not a long line, get that right away.
Mm-hmm. And we've been watching, obviously, the canopy going up, the attraction being built for like 5 years at this point. And here outside, which I didn't do, I didn't try this ahead of time. You can, see if you can, sit and fit into these cycles.
Yeah, the Lightcycle test seat here. And, it felt a little bit different than the real one, but the actual, the tightness and all of that part was correct. So if you fit in this, you're going to fit in the real one. I think maybe they even give a little extra on the real one. But I had no problem whatsoever, plenty of room. I think it's down in the, is that your calf area,
right.
That can be the problem. But this, again, is great. Although if you do not fit in it, there is a regular seat.
Which we did the first time.
Which we did. That's what we rode for the first time. And we're going to show that. We'll show the front row. I did the front row 3 times and then the regular seat once. They're both very different. There's different rides and you see different things from different seats. But anyway, once you get to the entrance of the show building, it's really quick. I mean, there's not a lot of waiting around inside. You go in this one little corridor here and they tell you it's a roller coaster. It kind of gives you all those warnings. But then as soon as you go around the corner, you're in the scanning room here. This is less than a minute, so it's a very quick pre-show, and the big reveal here right now. You're going into the grid, you're going into the computer, and boom, you're going to get the reveal, and there go the light cycles.
But you said a couple. I know there's one time I didn't see it. I rode twice. And then you didn't see it twice out of 4 times.
Well, also because there were not a lot of guests there. It was very quiet. That's why we're able to ride a number of times. So throughout later on, when it gets more busy, I think it was working. So the timing was correct. Mm-hmm. And as you go through, you see another launch. You're going to be able to see launches from different angles. This is as you kind of walking around over the track here.
And I like that there wasn't too much of a pre-show. Like, something like Flight of Passage, a lot of times I won't go on it, in part because I'm not really a fan of the pre-shows and they get kind of,
long in the tooth is what Denise likes to say.
Yes. So, it's like, do I actually want to go on it and go through the pre-shows? I prefer just walking through the queue.
Now, this is something new for a Walt Disney World attraction. You are going to be able to store your loose items in a locker.
You not only are going to be able to, you have to.
Well, not every, you can still keep your phone, you can
right,
keep your wallet, even your hat will fit in a little compartment.
Right, there's a little compartment on the bike. But I actually needed to have my stuff in 2 lockers because my backpack...
You have a lot of stuff. Denise carries quite a bit.
And I did learn, let's say you use your annual pass to open the locker. Don't put your annual pass in the locker.
You'll have no way of reopening it on the other side.
Fortunately, I put it in my camera bag, and Axel is one who had a couple things in that, so he was able to open it for me.
Now, look at how easy our friend Eliza is opening and closing the locker. We had such a hard time, but she just shows it no problem.
They've done it before.
Pass, right? Use your pass, you open up the locker, put your stuff in, and off you go.
And there's a lot of lockers here. I thought it would slow down the process, but at least in this case, it wasn't.
It was no problem.
No.
It was very, very convenient, very fast. Again, minimal crowds here. This was an ideal situation.
And you do want to remember your locker number also.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. Mm-hmm. And I would suggest keeping your phone because you can take pictures and video and all this throughout here. They only make you put it away when you're getting on the light cycle. And there's a compartment, again, that's perfect size
Right.
for a wallet, a phone, and even a hat.
And you don't want to take out the compartment after you at all, during the ride either.
So here we are. We're about to go for the very first time in the front. We had already ridden in the back, and we'll get
They're
to
totally
that.
different experiences. I think I prefer the back, actually.
And when we were pulling out, Denise says to me, I think I'm a little nervous because, you have not done this. We had already done the back, but it's a very different feel when
Yep.
you're kind of crouched down on the motorcycle. Although, because I was shooting with a chest mount, they said you can kind of sit up. So I fully sat as up as I could for the sake of the video, and I did that 3 times. So I was a little sore. It's not a position, sticking your chest out, kind of leaning back that you normally would be in.
And I went like all the way down because I wanted to feel like
You
I
wanted
had
the real experience,
no,
the
no,
motorcycle.
No, that's not.
Oh,
I
thought-
wanted stability. Like I want to feel like I had stability. So I don't know what to say about it. Like I like the back seat better for me, but there's not enough of them. There's not enough of the regular seats, and I think it'd be nice if they brought in another train with some extra ones.
Well, we'll get to that. We're going to show
Okay.
that regular seat. I'm just showing. This is now from the other side. I wanted to show the launch. So we just showed the launch before. We're going to show
1
the
minute.
launch again.
The ride itself from the time you leave till the time you return is about a minute.
Well, from here, right? From the
Yes,
blast off.
till-
So here we
yes.
go. We're going to watch the ride in full now, 1 full minute. And you'll be able to see Denise on the right there. And I kind
Briefly.
of, yes, look at this big smile as you're going through the air. This was the only time that you rode the front row.
Yeah, I only rode
You
once.
only rode twice.
I rode twice, once in the very front and once in the back. There's 14 riders per train, and it goes apparently almost 60 miles an hour.
And that's fast. That is one
Yeah,
of the
but it
faster
doesn't-
of the Disney roller coasters.
But to me, it doesn't feel quite that fast. Like when you go on test track, for some reason, it feels really. I think that's supposed to be about 60.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
that you really feel that. But when you're outside, I think that's where you're getting that 60 miles an hour from the launch. It feels pretty fast, going on out there. And this is kind of like reminds me in a way of a rock and roller coaster, all this inside
right,
kind
and,
of stuff.
and it did for me as well.
But now as we've just shown this version from the front, I actually prefer the inside part of the attraction from the back because I like seeing the train in front of you. I like seeing the other train. You are Team Blue, but then there's another team. I think it's Team Orange, and you see that one kind of. It almost looks like you're dueling, and I think it's done with mirrors or something. But it looks really kind of.
I don't
cool.
think I noticed that.
And you're
either.
about to.
I didn't.
You're about to see that when
See,
we
I
do
have
the
to
back
watch
seat.
the video.
No, you have to
even
watch
though
the video.
Even though I wrote it.
Well, here we go. Now there's there's our friend
Oh, there's
Axel,
Axel
and
and
Elisa.
Elisa.
And I just wanted to show how they are also kind of sitting up. Like Axel is sitting kind of back like I did. So anyway, we're about to see that standard seat. Here it comes, the regular seat
And
in
I
the
want,
back.
and while you're looking at that, I'm a size like 14 to 16,
Mm-hmm.
and I had no problem really in the front seat, except there was a tiny bit of a pinch in my leg, but not, it didn't hurt or anything. It was just a little tight in one small spot.
Yeah, this whole back seat reminds me of an Everest car.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feel that I got from it, like an Everest ride vehicle.
And I don't want to say I preferred it. It was like I haven't been in the middle now, so
We need to do that.
right. So I've done back seat, and then would I prefer the middle seat? I don't know.
I like the mirror effect here. So it looks like there's a whole bunch of these light cycles about ready to take off.
And it's fun. Didn't even think about it. Like I don't always. I'm probably so focused on being a little nervous in the back because it was my first ever ride.
This was
and
our
then the
very
front,
first. This was our very
because
first.
it was my first ever ride on the light cycle. But it really helped me to go on the back seat first to get an idea of what to expect before doing. I think I would have been so much more nervous in the front if I hadn't.
And speaking of the front, I see our friends Axel and Elisa in the very front, so it was kind of fun. And here we are. Now you'll notice we were talking about this a minute ago. You can see the train itself lit up in front of you, and you're going to see that orange train in a minute kind of almost do a little dueling action with you. And here it is. Here comes that orange train. So I think that is an effect you're not going to get as well from the front row.
And I think I would even more prefer it at night because there's the lights on the canopy and such outside. So I do actually look forward to trying it at night. This isn't a ride like Guardians for me where I'd want to ride over and over again. Like Guardians, I love. I'm not yet sure if Tron is saying like, oh, we're going to Magic Kingdom, let's get Tron.
No,
like, I don't know if
I agree.
like that.
I agree with you in a way, but in another way, this one to me is more re-rideable because of the lack of a long pre-show. With Guardians, by the time you go through those two pre-shows and you walk all that way, this is just so fast. And I did it. I went around 4 times, and I rode 4 times in about 45 minutes.
And during those pre-shows, I always like to say, like, people start heading to, moving toward the exit, like the giraffes at the end of the safari, day. Like, everybody's sort of going towards those doors.
And here's just another shot of the light cycles, starting off with the standard seat in the back. Only 2 of the trains, by the way, have those standard seats. So, by the way, when you pick up your bags, if you forget the locker number, you can just use your pass.
As long as it's not in the locker. As
long as it's not in the locker, and it'll remind you of what number it is, and you can reclaim your items. And here are a few shots, some fun shots of the light cycles, and they really do get some speed. It looks like.
Well, they said almost 60 miles an hour.
I love this. I love it after 5 years of covering every aspect of it. I think it's fun to be kind of in the middle of it, to have ridden it, to see it go. There's Denise, look at this, taking some pictures.
You're really close to everybody right here.
You can almost high five. I would not recommend that, by the way. But you could almost do that. And they have a brand new restroom.
It's very
beautiful
exciting.
Restroom. We used that before we rode at all.
I'm sure everybody is
very exciting
thrilled to know that.
Oh, and more PhotoPass pictures. I really don't understand at all. Like, Denise has her standard.
I actually
standard
prefer
mode.
that because my hair looked terrible.
There's
that
Axel
day.
and Elisa again. Thanks to these guys
thank
for
you to
taking
Axel
us.
and Elisa.
And here's a little shot I took at the end, kind of showing what it looks like from this area. We're going to look at the Speedway, and all this walkway hasn't been used yet, but I think at some point this will be like a little area where you can walk and enjoy the sights. But again, it's kind of neat to see the Speedway looking back from the other side. That's something you've never been able to do.
And that's cool, to see it in that from that angle. And also, Tron opens on April 4th officially, and we have a pass holder preview coming up, so there's still plenty of those to go.
Right, and I think that is March 4th, our preview. We managed to get the first day right before we're off on another adventure.
Yes, so I'm looking forward to many adventures.
So game over. That was the end of our preview, but again, we had a great time, and thanks to our friends Axel and Elisa. Now we're going to talk about the Mardi Gras Parade, and we saw it from Disney's Port Orleans Resort, French Quarter, where we usually watch it from every year.
We almost exactly the same location every year. This was like our 12th year.
But it was a little different, and we're going to get into that.
Not that what we did, but what they did. So Disney's Port Orleans, French Quarter, and Riverside participate. This year's theme is a legacy of Walt Disney World resorts. For some reason, I missed this sign. I don't think I took a picture of this sign.
Well, you have it here. And you can see the parade route is quite the long route. Where we're seeing it from is towards the very end of it.
And there's a banner this year, which they made a little bit bigger of a deal out of it. It used to be just sort of something that felt organic, where the cast members come out and do this. And this was, you have the ambassadors.
Walt Disney World ambassadors, always very
Allie
nice.
and Rayvon. And then we have a New Orleans style band.
And they were great, really getting things started off. And here we have Princess Tiana on the coach.
And in the past, many years ago, we had both Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen, but Princess Tiana has been doing all the work.
She was very friendly. She wished me a happy Mardi Gras there, so that was very nice of Tiana.
Yes, and it's always nice to see her here. And so first, you've got kind of a New Orleans themed cart, but now we're going to be getting into carts themed towards various Walt Disney World resorts. And I thought this was a great year for the carts. You've got Disney's Polynesian Village Resort here. It's like the Great Ceremonial House with that thatched roof and kind of that front area. Very nice,
very nice. And by the way, they were very generous with the beads. I've never gotten so many beads and candy.
They've never had as many beads as they've had this year. Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort is next, and we have a pirate ship. Now,
didn't they just take away the pirate rooms at that resort?
I don't know if they're gone or if they're going away. I don't know, but I mean, it's still like the pool is a pirate theme,
right? And they said they're looking past and present, so I think the pirate really works well.
Well, I mean, it's sort of, again, like you've got the parrot up there. So this was actually, I think, my second favorite of the carts. And then now you have Disney's
Yacht and
Yacht and
Beach
Beach Club,
Club. Or
right?
no, I guess that's just the
No,
Yacht Club.
it's the Beach Club's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
And then you have the Lighthouse
I
on
love
the
that.
side,
I love
which
the
I
lighthouse.
think is really great.
That was so great. I bet you that would have been cool at night.
Yes.
Because it looks like it was lit.
And there's so many little details just all over a lot of these carts. You've got Port Orleans Riverside
Lewis.
here. Yep.
And Lewis made an appearance that night later on, by the way.
The real
A
one.
meet and greet, yeah. So if we had stayed all day into the evening, we could have
okay.
met Lewis.
And so now we have Disney's Boardwalk Resort. There's a lot of things going on this one. But you've got the popcorn. But, you know, it mentions like all of the different places on the boardwalk. We've got Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. And this reminds me, I don't know what it's called in the Jumbo House.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes.
I don't know what it's called either, but I see it, of course, whenever we go in there.
otherwise, though, when I see this, it reminds me of going
Elephant?
yes, to Disney's Animal Kingdom Park because it reminds me of the safari.
Great job. Great job. And Pop Century.
And this is the Play-Doh. So it's actually better on the back. So I don't know if you're going to turn around and
I'm going to show
that.
as much as I can get from this angle.
So, but it, you know, when you see it, it doesn't. You don't even need to know it's Disney's Pop Century. You'd know what resort just by this Play-Doh.
So next we have the newest resort. I guess you could call it a resort. The Disney.
The Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
See, I let you say all that. That's quite the mouthful.
And so, I mean, this was really great. The cast members were really getting into it, and so we're just waiting on that float now. And
I love it. I mean, even the
yeah.
droid here, there's movement. When you know, afterwards, what they did is they parked all the floats and let all the guests kind of look at them before they judged them for 3 different categories.
And I didn't realize they were going to, you know, they gave a QR code to judge this year. This was the first year they did that. I didn't realize they were going to do it like right away. I didn't even vote, you know, because I thought
It happened so fast.
Right. I thought maybe in the evening or something they would. And I think they should allow for maybe a little while later. But
Last but not least, Disney's Wilderness Lodge. This was my favorite.
this one's from the engineering team. And the engineering team in the past has done like the Darth Vader cart, which is really popular.
This needed to bounce. I think if this bounced, especially with the fountain.
Like the Darth Vader, like the turkey leg, like, you know, they had the Slinky Dog Dash. And
Amazing.
Look inside
Look at how detailed.
the fireplace. You've got the ketchup at Whispering Canyon Cafe.
Again, a working waterfall there.
But you know what they have that the real Wilderness Lodge doesn't have right now? Topiaries.
That's true. That is a good point.
The buffalo topiaries. And I love those buffalo topiaries. So I hope that they'll come back. At least the last time we were over there, they weren't there.
And this, thankfully, didn't need to be used. This is in case any of the floats broke down. So they're
Is that what that was for?
That's what that was
I didn't
for,
even realize.
Following the parade. So that worked out pretty good.
And you see the droid here.
Yeah, I had mentioned about how they just parked them and left them turned on. Although later on, I think the waterfall in the Wilderness Lodge must have ran out of water because that wasn't running before we left. But overall, I mean, this was a nice change. But if guests think they're going to see an actual parade in this main street here, they need to plan to see it a little earlier in the route because it's going to stop, so you won't see the whole parade go by.
Right. There were people who were standing where in the past it has gone through.
Yes, every other year, right.
And it didn't. So some people kind of missed it.
Look at how great. Oh, there's Woody and Mickey up there.
Oh yeah, Woody and Mickey. And I thought that was an interesting combination
Yes.
having for the Wilderness Lodge.
And there's your 2 topiaries. That's the reason they're not at the Wilderness Lodge is because they're right here.
Oh yes,
They've shrunk them down with some Pym particles. This is great with the giant ketchup, just like when you really are dining in the.
I mean, they've got the sign, right? The ketchup, the sign. You've got the
Whispering
fire.
Canyon.
It looks like they have the fireplace rooms up ahead. I mean, you've got
There's
so
a
much
menu.
going on. Yes.
I'm getting hungry for some Whispering Canyon.
I should have
Goodness,
gone
a big
up
skillet.
I should have gone up and really taken like a million pictures of this, but you
So
can see,
detailed.
yeah, the sign going down the hallway. You've got
The waterfall,
right? Just everything.
Even the what are those things up?
I was mentioning the fireplace rooms. It looks like they might have up there.
No, the
Chandeliers.
Chandeliers.
Yes. So really, really talented. Again, these are all cast members who are creating, designing these. They're pargo carts.
So this is kind of a walkthrough of the area, maybe about 30 to 40 minutes after it all ended. They put the top 3 carts. So this won the overall best cart here, the Wilderness Lodge, which was our favorite. And then you saw there's a participation one. I think that was from, not participation, enthusiastic. And that was from Polynesian. And then the last one, I believe, was the pirate.
Well, I would definitely expect the pirate one to do really well. I thought that the boardwalk one was very nice. They all were really good. They parked all of them for like a half hour or more kind of along the street. It was really tight in there. I'm not sure that was, I think there are probably better places to park them for people to look at. But
here they had a special little, I guess you could say a bar, for lack of a better term. But there was also, I saw they had a king cake. They had some food items, but mainly drinks out here.
I believe the king cakes are sold inside all year round. And of course, beignets, which we were going to get, but the line was
too long of a line
long
for the beignet. And I was right. The pirate also won the last of the three. I don't remember the exact name of it, but there's your top three right there.
Well, the pirate ship here was excellent.
So our last stop on this week's show is Epcot. We're going to have a quick little preview for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, starting with a new look for Miss Piggy.
And the Flower and Garden Festival starts on March 1st, and runs through July 5th, which is over 4 months. Miss Piggy has a new look this year. Kermit looks the same as he has for a number of years, but Miss Piggy looks very different.
Now, when Kermit first appeared, he was actually playing his banjo.
In 2014 for
right.
Muppets Most Wanted.
But he's been riding the bike ever since.
And Miss Piggy, she was all green before. It's not easy being green. So instead...
And that's how she looked just 1 year ago.
Yep.
Very green. As you mentioned.
And now she has like a more lifelike appearance, with the legs, the top of the arms, the ears, and the face.
And there is a great comparison you could see. That,
she looks so great this year.
So much better. They did an amazing job. Not just with Miss Piggy, but updating other ones
right,
as well.
There's other characters as well. And there you got the little lizard up there. But other characters also have received like extra, more color in them.
Vibrancy.
But so far, Miss Piggy is the most notable change I've seen so far.
Now, you mentioned vibrancy and colors. It's the Three Caballeros, and they have never looked better. Very colorful.
Right. Ponchito in the center, his outfit is more red than in previous years. Before it was more of an orange or a rust, and plus he's got, like around the arm there, what is it called, like a cuff, around the cuffs.
Yeah.
And there's like
detail.
Yes,
so much
there's
more
detail.
detailed.
And also his tuft of feathers on the top of the head is also red. So they're really trying to make them look like what you see, in the cartoons and such.
And they really match the flowers. I mean, the whole flower bed is a perfect match for them. It's a great look this year.
Yeah, they look great. They always look good, but I always love how when you see this flower bed, you look at it and you say, "Oh, the Three Caballeros are on the way." Because of the colors.
And we have Tick and Tack in front of Mickey.
Tick-a-tack.
Tick-a-tack. Ticky-tack. That's
no,
Chippendale.
Not
Chippendale.
Tick-a-e-t-a.
Tick-et-tack.
No.
I don't know how to say it right.
Okay, that's okay.
Anyway, you also have Mickey, Minnie, and Pluto.
In French, Chippendale are known as, I'm not sure even how to say, tick-a-tack.
You know what? All my friends that we go to
say
Paris
Chippendale.
with, I'll say Tick and Tack.
Oh.
So that's how I say it too. Anyway, there'll be a lot more. Next week will be their opening day for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, so lots to come with that. We want to thank, that is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Head to their website if there's anywhere either like Disney related, Universal related. That's what they do. That's their big specialty, except also for cruises.
Oh, and speaking of cruises, this year is the 25th anniversary of
the
Disney Cruise Line. And also Disney's Animal Kingdom celebrating 25 years this year.
And I have 25 years of experience with both of those.
So do I.
Yes. So
more than that.
We're old and we've been around a long time.
So this coming week, we're going to have, again, Epcot International Flower and Garden. We'll be there for opening day. We'll be able to do another ride in TRON. So if there's any difference, we'll be able to talk about that next week. Is there anything else as far as you could
I
think of?
hope not. That's,
Well,
I think that's
I think
enough.
we're going to Epcot a couple times
Yes.
to see right before it opens in case some topiaries.
But
are
it's
up
all
and ready.
It's all Epcot
all the
International
time.
Flower and
all
Garden
Epcot
Festival.
all the time.
I love Epcot, and especially this time of year, and you're walking through Epcot, and it smells so nice, and it looks so beautiful.
Feels
And
like summer actually. Last time
oh
it
my
was almost
gosh.
90 degrees.
Right, this whole week I think is going to be almost 90 degrees. Really hot. It's really hot out, but like on Monday we'll probably go in the morning, and maybe we'll just be there till like noon or so. I like to go first thing in the morning, and the one thing is, what is amazing is that World Showcase didn't used to be open early.
Right.
Like until
Well, it did. It did when Epcot first started, but for many years,
Right.
they didn't open till 11 o'clock.
Right. So until a few years ago, you would get there and, Future World's open, and then World Showcase doesn't open till 11. And then they started opening a little bit of stuff early. But all of a sudden now, everything is open. So I just love World Showcase opening. I like to go right into World Showcase.
It's great being there between 9 and 10 is such a great time in World Showcase.
It's a gorgeous time to be there. Except, France is busy. Norway's can be busy. But between Norway and France tends to be really nice. So if you want to get
very chill in the morning.
Yeah, topiary pictures, you want to get something to eat. There's not that many places open to eat, but like the Morocco snack stand there is open. It's just a really nice time to be there.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week.
Have a great week.